My full name is Irvin James Polk. And then at the end of my 7th grade, I moved to Elkhart. Mom and Dad were assigned a church just a half a block from Lifeline. As I look back on that, now I'm thinking, wow, God had his hand on me then. He knew exactly where I was going to spend 46 years of my life. But after I graduated from Taylor, finally, in 1961, that's when I came back to Elkhart, because Elkhart was the town that I liked the best of all the towns that we had lived in as I was growing up. I loved the little church that Mom and Dad pastored. Dad's funeral was at that church. I met my wife at that church. We got married at that church. And so this has just sort of been my little neighborhood for years. My church, my home, my work at Lifeline, and where my wife taught were all within a 2 or 3 block radius here. It was a real struggle for me to find my place in life. It was probably 10 of the most depressing, discouraging years of my life. So in September of '63 is when I quit my job at Excel and began working with Lifeline. So that was how I got my beginning, and like I say, it was a rough 10 to 12 years, but I think God knew that I was not mature enough to start when I thought maybe I should. Well, my wonderful wife, she's a gem, but I met her at our little church just up the street here. She wasn't a Christian then. She had never heard of Taylor University. She grew up in Indianapolis. She accepted Christ at Taylor, and now she claims Taylor as her college. But that's how I met my wife one Sunday night at church. She was sitting on one side and I was sitting on the other, and a couple years later we got married in 1965. How did I stick with my job for 46 years? People often ask me that question, and it's a very simple answer. It's because God put me there. Well, I think obedience to God is the key to happiness. It reminds me of my favorite hymn, which is trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. We can be obedient and trust Him in any vocation that we're in. Especially since I've had my pancreatic cancer, kids have come out of the woodwork. I hear from lots and lots and lots of kids. They stop by, they write me notes, they call. Seldom a day goes by where I don't have 2 or 3 former Lifeline kids just stop in to see how I'm doing and see how things are going and see if there's anything they can do. This is sort of an alumni place for a lot of the kids. A lot of the kids don't make it through high school, but they've got this place to go back to. So the answer to people that want to know if I keep in touch with formers, why, the answer is yes, even the ones in prison. And there's several of them that I'm still writing to that are in prison, and they write back. And so they often say, I wish I'd have listened when I was in Lifeline. I wouldn't be where I'm at now. But my words of wisdom to parents is to be involved in what their kids are doing. I don't think that the kids are a whole lot different now than they were 40 years ago. You know, I'm still doing the same thing here that I did in that old clubhouse. We come here, we have recreation time, we have our sit-down time and talk about God and the Bible and what it has to say about life, and then we have something to eat. You know, I've been doing that same routine for 40-some years. But the kids' needs are still the same. They still need love. They need to feel safe. They just have a whole lot more to deal with. We used to say that the heart of the delinquency problem is the heart of the boy or the girl themselves. You know, we reach their heart for Christ, then we can see some change. And all the kids still have that need. Well, my greatest contribution or accomplishment would be to be able to share Jesus with the kids. That's just the bottom line. So my greatest accomplishment is just the opportunity that we have of sharing the gospel with these kids that are not probably ever going to hear it anywhere else. If I could get all the kids together that have gone through these doors, and you could tell them one thing, it would just be to get their heart right with Jesus, because then I can see them again. I've thought a lot about that now that maybe my life is not going to be too much longer, that if I could just communicate to them that if they don't know Jesus now, then they need to do it. And we won't have to say goodbye, we'll just say so long. See you later. I am just very, very thankful for where God has placed me, and I've had, if I should die tomorrow, I've had 73 and a half years of good life. I mean, really I have. Before I even knew I had pancreatic cancer, I think, when I was running up and down stairs here at age 73, I'm thinking, here I am, 73, and I'm still doing what I've been doing for a long time, and I was very thankful. But I'm just thankful for 73 good years of life and 46 of them in Lifeline. Can't ask for much more than that.